Hi, guys. Welcome back to Life Emotion Podcast. And this episode is talking about navigating adult friendships. We're not going to waste much time. We're just going to get straight into it. So, making friends as an adult. The first question is safe spaces in friendships. How do you identify them being safe and holding space in your friendship?
Being safe. How do you identify safe friendships?
And like, yeah,
Um,
holding space for your friendship, safe
yeah,
spaces.
yeah. I think a part of it is like you find people who respect your boundaries. You find people who respect the things that you say. Okay, this is no, or this is I need space, or I just need a moment, or like you find people who don't find that offensive. Because a lot of times when you have boundaries, people can find it offensive. But I've found like the people who usually find your boundaries offensive are people who don't have boundaries themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, so they're mad at you because you have boundaries, but it's like
yeah,
no, we all should have boundaries. So if the person respects your boundaries, I think you can identify that as a safe space. And if you feel comfortable sharing and opening up and being vulnerable, and you don't feel like there's that sense of judgment, I feel like everybody should have a space of at least someone in their life that like they could fall apart in front of, and
Yeah.
there's no judgment. So.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, holding space for friendships, respecting people's boundaries, respecting being able to separate friendships is a big thing. Just because you're
yeah,
all friends doesn't mean you're all friends. Being able to separate individual relationships.
Yeah.
Um, People that gaslight you, they're not your friends.
yeah,
I don't know about everyone else, but for me, if you're a gaslighter, you're not my friend.
Yeah.
mm,
And if you
Agreed.
don't have, and I think, yeah, on the topic of being friends with people that don't have boundaries, they don't know how to hold space for your boundaries and respect your boundaries. Sometimes they don't even mean to, but they don't know how to do it, and it's difficult. So
yeah,
yeah,
mm,
Yeah.
being a safe space in your friendship is being able to hold people's boundaries, people's vulnerabilities, not gaslighting people, trying to see things from your friend's point of view.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree, trying to understand, even if you don't agree. So
mm,
yeah, I think that's what pretty much being a safe space in friendships looks like to me.
mm,
What
mm-hmm.
about you,
Mm-hmm.
Kit?
This one, it's a tricky one for me. I feel like I also want friends who are sort of in the same, who almost have the same goals as I do now. Because once I start to talk about certain things, and if you are not of the same mindset, you might actually find that either very, I don't know the word to use, like maybe um you might think that, oh, maybe she's a bit big-headed, not
Mm.
like I'm consumed about where I want to take my life and all these things. So if you're a person who's like not into, who's not ambitious, or who's not like yeah, it's just gonna seem like, oh, she's so too
She's
much
too
into.
much. One is signs of toxic friendships.
Mm,
For me,
Woo.
this is my take on that. I feel like sometimes people are for a season and they're temporary. And it depends where you are in your life
Mm-hmm.
at the moment, where you are emotionally, mentally, on your growth journey, in your career, all of that. It takes a lot of things into consideration. So I think is one thing that I've learned now is people come and go, and sometimes people are for a season. And yeah, you just need to learn how to know that when something doesn't serve you, you need to learn how to walk away. Um, so it doesn't even come down to toxic friendships or things. I think just in life in general, even family members, you outgrow certain situations, or you get to a point where you need a different direction, and that's not quite the direction that you need from that person. It doesn't mean you don't love them, you don't care about them, but yeah, situations can get to a place where unintentionally become toxic to you, and it's up to you to define what that looks like for you and what you're willing to
Mm-hmm.
put up and not put up with. But what I can say is it's okay to let go of certain things. It's okay to let go. Sometimes people are for a season. and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the longer you hold on to things, sometimes you're not able to reflect on other things that serve you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when you
Yeah.
let go, you'll be amazed sometimes what else is coming. And sometimes it's for a season. They need to
Yeah.
be out the way so that the other people that can serve you in this season can be here for you and love you the way you need to be loved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hold space for you in a way that you need to be held and help you progress towards where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah. I don't even have any like I just like the way you put that. I'm like
Yeah.
that was good. That was yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it may
Signs
not
of
be that people sorry, it may not be that people are like horrible or
yeah,
even like bad people. Like I mean you
yeah.
have some people that are like trash, but yeah.
Shady. Yeah.
But it's not like but not everybody is like that and then not everybody comes in with bad intentions. But
I agree.
sometimes it just doesn't work out in the end. And it's okay to say, that was good while it was good.
Good.
And now
Yeah.
it's not good for me anymore,
It doesn't
and
serve
I
me.
don't yeah and I don't need that, and it's time for me to move on and go a different direction. And it's not that we have bad vibes or anything, it's just it's a
It's not working
decision.
out.
Let's just go in a different direction and make
I
space for
agree.
both of us. You have space for good things, I have space for good things. Yeah.
Things that serve you at that point in time. And I feel like it's so easy to think everything's out to get you sometimes, even in relationships.
Oh yes.
Listen, yeah, maybe you get hurt, you get this and that, but it's not even a matter of something's out to get you. It's a matter of it's just not working. It's just not working out. Sometimes people really don't have that intention of hurting you. But where you're in
Yeah.
different places, where you require different things, you have different needs that need to be met. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to do that, and that can be toxic to you. It's not necessarily because they want to be toxic to you.
Yeah. Mm,
So it's up
Mm-hmm.
to you to define what it is you want and what it is you can take and what it is you can't take.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is signs of a healthy friendship. This one, I think, should we list three each? Let's list three
Yeah.
each.
Mm. So for me, judging on because I have a friend who've been friends for over 20 years now.
Hmm.
And you know how they say, like, sometimes when your friend gets married, your friendship changes.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
when my friend got married, I was actually preparing myself to like give her the space to be a wife. Because
Hmm.
before, we used to like talk about every single thing. I mean, if I'm crossing the road, she'll know that it's an exaggeration, but I'm just trying to say like we're very close. But to my surprise, her friendship never changed ever. Like she was
Wow.
just consistently my friend. Whenever I needed her, she will be there for me. And whenever it's like, and if she's going through things, is growing through things, she'd always tell me, like, okay, when you get to this stage, this is what's happening. We're the same age. I mean, we met in boarding school, but it's like she's I think that's a marker of a good friendship. It's
That's a
like when
solid
yeah,
friendship.
Absolutely.
like when you go through changes, and when you go through life, the person never changes, and you're like your relationship is really like rooted. So that's one. And then be just somebody who's just reliable. Like, if you're going to be my friend, I'm not saying be there for me 100% of the time, but then just the same energy I'm putting in the relationship, it shouldn't be one-sided. Don't just think of me when you're in trouble and deep waters. I want to
Hmm.
be there when you're celebrating things as well, when you're happy, because some people categorize friends, it's
Yeah,
like,
they
oh,
do.
these
Yeah.
friends are just for partying, and these friends are like when I'm in trouble. If we're
Yeah.
going to be genuine friends, like, I don't want to be that person who's in a box when it comes to the friendship thing. So a marker
Yeah.
of a good friendship is like a well-rounded, reciprocal friendship.
Relationship. Yeah. Friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, and then another thing is a good one is like somebody who doesn't really push their opinions on you. They let you go through what you have to go through, and if I
Mm-hmm.
make that mistake, they don't come to me and say, "I told you so," blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and they start
That's
like,
not a friend.
Yeah, so definitely a good one would be somebody who's like very understanding, and I am understanding as well with their whatever they're going through. And it's like anyone who pushes me closer to God, I think that's the most important thing. Like, try to push me closer to God as I'm trying to push you closer to God. Because, I think in this life, you want somebody who kind of knows you and they know you. Charlotte, I know you, and are you sure this is not? But then again, you're gonna have to do what you want because you're an adult. Because we're adults.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's like, okay, just try to remind me of who I am in Christ, who I am in, uh, like my identity and stuff. Because you're like my sort of like a mirror, a person who's sort of like a mirror. I
mirror.
think that's what I think a good friendship would entail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
pretty much said it all. I think reciprocity, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a big thing. You can't be in friendships that are one-sided or friends that just call you when they want to party. Or I
Mm.
feel like it's also good to define who you're calling your friend, because we
Yeah.
know a lot of people. Sometimes, is everybody really your friend? Well,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it gets to a point where, like, I know you, we've been friends before, but is our friendship still, like, is it in progress, or it's just we have history? Sometimes we just have history, or sometimes you're
Yeah.
actually just an acquaintance and you're not really
Mm-hmm.
my friend. But when it comes down to the core, your friend, you need to know. And when it comes down to the core, real, true friendship, there has to be that reciprocity. Yeah,
Yes.
Mm.
reciprocate. Like if I'm blowing up your phone, blow up my phone. Check on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, in terms of that, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think it has pretty much covered most of it for me.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
same. She has, but that being a vault, basically, like
Yeah,
keeping the things that I tell you, because I'm private to a certain degree. Like I'm private to a certain degree, so I need to know that if I share certain things, that it's safe with you, especially
yeah.
if it's like very like just very, what's the word? Oh, jeez, I can't find the word, but it, like you like just kind of, if you know, like it's a touchy kind of thing, or it's like it's a sensitive kind of thing, like I need to know that I can trust you with certain information, and the relationship does have to be mutually beneficial. Like
Yeah.
it has to be mutually beneficial. If it's not, then what are we
What are
doing?
we doing?
What are we doing?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think now that I'm getting older, I'm more intentional about my friendships as well. Gosh,
Yes.
this is
Mm.
my villain era, man. I'm more intentional about my friendship. And yeah, just more intentional, like what
Yeah.
I bring to the table and what you bring to the like what are we pouring into each other as friends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you advice, but I don't want to say, "Hey, this is it. This is the gospel." No, I'll say it, and you have to also use your common sense to discern. And I need you to trust me enough to know that I'm your friend, and whatever you choose, I can love and support you to it. What I don't like though
Mm-hmm.
is the friend that you're doing something wrong. I'm against. I've expressed time to that number, and every day, you know how we talked about offloading people that want to offload. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. I'm not your trash can.
Mm.
If you want to sit down and rant about something all day, do you know what that sign is? It's a sign to set a boundary.
Yeah.
It's draining. I don't want to sit
Yeah.
there and hear you rant every day. Take action, please. Do something about it. Like,
Mm.
yeah, you
Mm.
have
Yes.
to. Yeah, when I'm ranting, best believe the next thing is an action. I'm
Yeah.
not about to let you raise my blood pressure high and low every day. Whether it's a situation, whether it's a thing, whatever it is, my bills, my finances, I'm not going to sit here and talk every day. I need to take action. Something needs to be done. If I'm going through depression and I'm telling you I'm depressed, best believe I'm contacting my GP and I'm looking for the next best option. This is
Yeah.
just an example of, like, yeah, just take action. I don't want to sit here. We don't have to rant about the same thing for like a year. Where's the boundary coming and where's the action, please?
Mm.
And those kind of friendships I find draining. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. And I will retract.
Mm.
So I know you're ready to do something about it. Because at
Deal
that
with
point,
the stuff.
I can't do friendships that emotionally drain me. drain my
Yeah.
spirit, affect my peace of mind. I can't do it in friendships. I can't do it in families. I can't do it in anywhere. So best believe I'm not gonna put up with that because you're my friend.
Yeah.
I would just retract. So yeah, that's another thing. But yeah, I think Kit pretty much
Agree.
covered most of the healthy friendship things. And also know your boundaries as a person. It's very good to take the time to know yourself and what you want and what you don't want. That
Yes.
way when you see it, you know like, okay, what do I do now? You know how to take action.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't be a good friend without really even knowing yourself that well, you know? It's very
Mm.
important to take the time to do that work within yourself as well. So the next question is list 5 things that you want to do or aim to do more in your current friendships.
Whew. 5 things. One thing
Yeah.
that I know for a fact that I need to work on that drives people crazy is responding to messages. I need to respond to messages quicker and not leave messages sitting sometimes. And it's not like a one-off thing. Like I do it all the time. So it's not even like oh, this is just a
It's
one.
not it's not personal. It's
It's
just Nisha.
not. It's just literally. But I have to get used to it. Like I was joking with somebody the other day, and I was like, "Can we cancel WhatsApp? Can we cancel WhatsApp, please?" Because people expect responses back quickly and immediately, and sometimes, honestly, I could, but I think like if I'm in the middle of something, I'm just like, oh, okay, I see the message, but I'll respond to it later. But then
And it never
later,
happened.
it never happens later. So I think one thing I want to do is like just respond back really quick and be like, hey, I'm in the middle of something. I'll message when I have a chance, or just say something because sometimes it just never happens later, and then you go, oh shucks, it's a day, or it's been a day, it's been 2 days, I haven't responded back to this person. um, Another thing that I want to do differently in my friendships is I think I have pretty solid boundaries. But I think that there's a little bit more boundaries that I could have in some of my friendships. I don't want to go into like, detail or whatever, but
Details, yeah, of
yeah, but
course.
I think I could do that. I think there are some boundaries that I need to have in some of my friendships. So that's another thing. And the third thing I would do differently is I don't know. Maybe be a little bit more. So I'm the kind of person, if I'm going through something, I like to process it before I talk about it. Because honestly, it's like I don't have the words. I don't know. You want me to talk about it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know myself what's going on at the moment. It just
I
is
don't
what
have
it
the
is.
words, yeah.
I don't have the words. So being more so instead of actually kind of like retracting or like just completely going silent, just saying, hey, this is what's going on right now. I don't have the words completely yet to say what's going on, but I'm in this space at the moment. I just need some time. Um, that's 3. 5. What else would I do differently? I think I'd be more open to friendship. I'm very like, okay, these are my friends. I'm cool. I'm good. And not being so suspicious of friendships, I think.
Trust issues, man. Trust issues.
Not being so suspicious of because I've seen people who have called people their friends, and in my head, I'm like, I had to tell one of my friends the other day because she was talking to me about a friend of hers, and I was like, and you call this person your friend? You showed us your
Yeah.
friend?
It's just trust issues, man.
Yeah, and she kind of tried to clean up whatever she was saying a little bit, but in my head, I'm like, dang, if this is how you talking about someone you call your friend, how you talking about me?
Me. I
But
think that's a friendship red flag.
yeah, it is, and that's why I
This
was
is
like,
why, sorry, Nisha. This is why I don't agree with someone sitting down ranting about someone from morning to evening. Like, for me, address
yes,
it. Do something about it. Address it. If you're not gonna address it, don't bother. I don't want to hear it.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Address
yeah,
it. It's every day coming rants. Every best believe I'm about to say, girl, that's some bullshit.
yeah, yeah, and I'm like, so I have to. just be a little bit more less suspicious. I'm trying to do this thing where I'm not approaching relationships from the point of view, what are you here to take from me, but what did you come to bring me? Even if it's a lesson, what did you come to add to my life, as opposed to what did you come to take from it? So that's another thing. And the fifth thing, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be five. You don't have
Yeah,
to
well,
accept
that's
it if
yeah,
something comes.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's it.
For
Mm.
me, the things I aim to do more, I guess, is to show up for my friends a bit more. I want to show up for my friends a bit more. Yeah, just show up and hold space for my friends a bit more. I want them to know I love them and I'm a safe space for them. Number two, this is something that has affected me in the past and I'm not doing it anymore. And I don't care how you perceive it, but this is me. Take it or leave it. I'm not putting that boundary down for nobody. If you do something that I don't like now, I will address it.
Mm,
And it's not a conflict. I'll address it. Some people you can't have you met people that you can't just have a dialogue and conversation with? They're always right or they'll gaslight you. That one I'll just cut it off. I won't even bother.
yeah,
But if I can address and hold a conversation with you, I'd rather do that. Because what I let do before what I will let happen is I'll let things slide. I'll let things slide. And it chips away and I don't want to be your friend. Like I just don't crave being around you anymore
mm,
Yeah.
because you've done too many things that have chipped away. But whereas I see that now that in myself that was a bad thing. Because then my friend wakes up one day and I'm not really close to them anymore and they don't get it. It's because I didn't vocalize what was happening. I know some situations I've learned I can't say anything. It's just I'm cutting you off. And then there's some situations when you can say something. Some people actually hold space for you to have that dialogue and work things
yeah,
out. Like when any of us have issues, I come to you guys, we squash it, we move on, right? Some people as well don't know how to hold space for that. If you're like, I need to address more things, and if I address it and you can't hold space, then I'm sorry. I tried. The only reason why I'm
yeah,
addressing it is because I care about our friendship and I want this to work out. I love you and I want us to move on. Even relationships have to have a dialogue. Even within families, you have to have a dialogue. So if you can't be that healthy space, but we can't hold a healthy conversation and things, that's done. But one thing I know I need to do more, and I aim to do more, is be able to talk. Like it's not even a conflict. It's let's work this out, man. Let's work
yeah,
let's work this out. Let's meet a middle ground. And that's something I aim to do more because I realize when I don't do that, I pull away. And it breaks the other person's heart because they don't know what they've done. And at that point, I've let so many things slide that I'm exhausted to even talk about it. So if it happens, I'm talking about it, I'm addressing it. And how you hold space for that. If they're your friend, if they're your friend and they value your friendship, we will have that conversation and we'll move on. And that's just how it is. It's like my friend told me last time, girl, you always late. Girl, I know, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut down on the makeup routine so I can hurry up and be there on time next time. Simple. But if she doesn't say anything and she holds it in, and it's like I keep doing it because she hasn't addressed it, or sometimes it hasn't come. The person doesn't really know they're doing that, so it hasn't come to their attention. And then I start holding it in me, then it gets to the point where it's like, I don't want to see you anymore. Like you invite me and I'll start making excuses because I find it draining. The situation has drained me or worn me out. That's not
yeah,
fair on them. It's not fair on your friend and it's not fair on you. Good friendships should be able to hold conversation,
yeah,
Yeah.
effective conversation that goes somewhere and we move on and we just do life. So that's one thing I aim to do better is communicate better. If it bothers me, I need to bring it to light so that we can work through it and we can move on from it. And it's also a form of self betrayal. And sometimes they don't know what they're doing, and you're holding the grudge in your heart. Is that going to take you to heaven? No. It's just going to chip away. And sometimes it's a good friendship is just chipping away because you didn't say, girl,
yeah.
you didn't show up, or girl, I didn't like the way you said this, or, it's just something
Mm-hmm.
simple. Let's just squash it. And sometimes it's just simple misunderstandings. Nobody's out to get you. It's not like the person's out to get you. It's just maybe miscommunication, miss this, miss that. Let's address it. Let's get to a place and let's move on, right?
Yeah,
So that's something I aim to do. Show up for my friends, be there for my friends. And I aim to address things when I feel like they need to be addressed. I aim to do that more. If that makes me problematic, then honey, sorry. Love you. Bye. The next The next thing I would say I aim to do better in friendship, I think it's just those two things more. I just want to love my friends, man. I want to really love my friends and hold space for my friends and validate my friendships. And I want them to know I love them. And yeah. And
Yeah.
then when things happen, I want us to be good to a place where like we just talk it out. We're grown. We're grown. None of this sneaking nonsense. Like we're grown. Like let's talk about it. And if I
Yeah.
hear something or if I see something suspicious, I'll tell you as my friend, not even in a malicious way. Like, girl, I've noticed this. This is something to be aware of. Maybe you should, be aware of that. Because I feel like if I love you, I should be able to bring certain things to light as well. You know? Because I love you and I care about you. Yeah. So I just want to love on all my friends. And I just want to be able to have good conversations and address things in a healthy way and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to see them. I've not like my best friend who lives in SA, the last time I saw her, I mean, she's now married with 2 kids. I've not seen them. And I need to go
Yeah.
visit them face
Mm,
to face, you know.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw her was it 10 years ago?
Oh,
And
yeah.
wow.
and then Sam is like 16. It's just like, yeah, I need to go
I need
see
to make the
them.
effort to see them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that we've even maintained the relationship, like the friendship for
Those are
like
solid friendships.
Yeah, it is.
yeah. Yeah. And also maybe I need to be more open. Like Nisha was saying, being suspicious, right? Like we just don't know because Barbara, that friendship I had, and then all of a sudden when I needed them one time, it's like, hey, went left. Like, girl, I thought you were my friend. You can't just do stuff like that to friends. So I think I have I don't know if it's trust issues or maybe hurt around that area
Mm,
of friendships as well. So it's
yeah.
like, you know what, maybe that ship has sailed because I don't trust new friends
I feel
actually.
like some things the ship should sail. For some
Yeah.
things, me, I know when you push me to a certain level, I'm not coming back. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but peace out. I love you, but I'll love you from that way, not this
Mm,
way. Some things is just like, I beg, no. Take your wahala and be going. I feel like it
Mm-hmm.
gets to a
mhm,
point that, and it's healthy. It's,
mm,
you know what you can and you can't take. One thing about me, I won't sit down and rant about you and do shady things behind your back.
Yeah.
So I'll be carrying my peace of mind. Let me hold on to that love that I have for you and go and love you from there. Because I can't
mm,
do it's exhausting, it's draining, and we're not about to do that.
I think too, like with the showing up, I think I could show up some more too.
More.
When my friends know, and they figured like when I was doing my thesis, my master's thesis, like they know if I am in doing something, like I'm head down doing this and I need to get it out before I come
mm,
back up for air. And
mm,
a lot of times it's like, oh, Alicia, you don't have time for me. Blah, blah, blah. So I think I could show up a little bit more too and make space, being intentional about making space. Because like people say, like you make space and you make time for the things that are important to you.
mm,
And so if like I could make time for because I have like I literally have goals and it's not like if I tell you like if I'm like telling my friends like I want to live in Japan for a year. Like if I tell you I want to do something, bet I am
I'm working
thinking
on it.
I'm working on it. Like I don't just
Same,
say I want something just to say
same,
like
same.
if I say I want something, you better believe
Your
I'm
actions
actively working on
working on
that.
it. Same.
And so I could be very head down trying to do what I need to do. Like having like a calendar and making sure like my times are blocked for certain things and so I just need to be more intentional of making space for the relationships that are important to me as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Mm,
And another thing, I feel like I need to be more open to new friends. Well, at the moment, I'm doing that. I'm open to friendships. I'm open to new friendships
Yeah.
to a level. It depends though what we're connecting on. Like, I
Yeah.
made a new friend recently, and she's just amazing. Yeah, and I'm really glad I did that. So yeah, open to new friendships as well.
Yeah.
It's something I
mm,
aim to do, like new, cause where I'm at a different state, I'm more in a different space. I'm more intentional with the people I'm letting in my life, and if I
Yeah.
say you're my friend now, it's because I've seen something that I like, and you're my friend. So yeah, just another thing, yeah, being open to new friendships, and it's a good way to network as well.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
Anything else you guys want to add on making friends as an adult and adult navigating adult
To
friendship?
like just be understanding sometimes. Like adult responsibilities are real. It is
Yeah.
real. Like Barbara, you posted the other day that adulting is the ghetto. It is.
It's the
It
ghetto.
is the
Mm.
ghetto. It is the hood. Adulting. Sometimes it could be rough. Like adulting is the real deal. And so being okay sometimes, like when your friends are in the business of adulting, because
Yeah.
it can be a lot. Responsibility is a lot. It's just it could be a lot. And
Yeah.
yeah, just being okay with that sometimes and not taking that personal can preserve your adult
Definitely.
friendships. And
And I think
everybody
that's
is,
just
yeah,
a sign of maturity as well. Like if you're mature, you get it, you know? You just get
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah,
me, just people. Just the highlight of this. Don't let your friends gaslight you. If somebody's
yeah,
gaslighting you, they're not your friend, okay? And that's the
Mm.
lesson I had to learn. It took me a long time to learn why sometimes I didn't want to be around certain people or things. It's because they're gaslighters. If somebody's gaslighting you, they're not your friend, okay? Okay. Just advise yourself.
yeah.